everyone. Good morning. I'm Ashley Brooke, and I wanted to come on here real fast and tell you guys, if you have an autistic child and he goes to school or she goes to school and the school refuses to change him or her, a lot of times, I dealt with this a lot, and my sister just told me yesterday that she's dealing with that now, is that the teachers are refusing to change them. They keep sending them home early, saying that they're sick, because they don't want to change them if they're not potty trained. So basically all you have to do is go to the school district, tell them that that school cannot meet your child's needs, especially if you have it in the IEP that they are not potty trained. So you go to the school district, you ask for an Explorer referral, and that allows you to go to the surrounding schools and see if they could accommodate your child's needs. If they're able to accommodate your child's needs, then you can enroll them to the school even if it's not your home school. And if that school is unable to meet their needs, you can keep going out farther to the surrounding schools, and if it's in the IEP that they receive transportation, they will have to still transport and pick up your child and take them to school and drop them off, even if it's a little distance. So there's a tip right there. Don't allow your child to go to a school where the special needs teachers are calling you up every second. It's hard enough to be a parent with special children that require special accommodations. So yeah, advocate for yourself and your child. You also don't want your child going to a school where they're all like grossed out or weird about changing your child, especially if it's in the IEP. The IEP is the individual the individual education plan. So that states the child needs assistance with potty training, or at least, at the very least, if they don't have enough staff, they have to at least change the child if it's in the IEP. So if they're not doing that and it's in the IEP, that school is not equipped to handle your child's needs. I dealt with a school before where, not the one my son goes to now, for the record. My son goes to a grade school. I'm in San Diego. He goes to San Altos Elementary. That school is awesome. The teachers, the staff is awesome. But before we came there, we were in LA County, and my son was going to a school, and I showed up to school. They called me to come pick him up. I showed up. She's like, come here. And she's like all emotional, and she's like wanting me to come see where my son, she said that he pooped on the floor in the classroom. And she comes trying to get me, thinking I'm gonna go and scold my son, who's already has so many challenges. And I followed her just because I'm so baffled, I'm wondering what this woman's gonna do next. And I followed her to the classroom, and in front of his class, in front of his peers, she starts, oh, he pooped all over the floor, it's everywhere, it's in my rug. And I said, well, what were you doing? She's like, what do you mean? I said, what were you doing when he was pooping on the floor? My son requires 24/7 supervision. It's in his IEP. So tell me what you were doing. You should have been able to catch this. If you were watching him, you would have seen him, making gestures or starting to, his body language would have told you that he was trying to use the restroom. What were you doing? Were you in your cell phone? Did you leave the classroom? Did you neglect my son? Is that what you're saying to me? And she's like, oh no, well, no, it's just he was hiding it. I'm not hiding it, he's sneaking. No, my son was not hiding it. He's special needs, it's in his IEP, it is your job to watch him 24/7. That's crazy. That the fact that it got all over the floor, that he walked several steps, that means that he was not being watched. Don't you think that if he pooped, that you would have saw it fall, and then you would have froze him right there, stopped and went and helped him? it wouldn't have moved from one desk to the teacher's desk. Like, he was wandering around the classroom. So why was my son, why was nobody with my kid? Like, that's crazy. So yeah, I complained about that teacher because that to me was ridiculous. And the fact that she was like potty shaming him, I looked at her and I said, don't you ever potty shame my son in front of his peers. Don't you know that potty shaming will, carry with the child the rest of their life? It will affect their self-esteem and, their desire to want to try. I was so pissed, you guys didn't even know. I'm a nice person, but I was super pissed potty shaming my nonverbal kid. I was like, if you're telling me this right now, to me, to the parent, what the hell are you saying to my son? What are you saying to my kid who's nonverbal, who can't defend himself when I'm not here? If you have enough balls to talk to me like that, I can only imagine the bullshit you're saying to my poor kid. I was pissed. So you guys don't, you'll know when you find the right teachers. We found some good teachers right now, so we feel blessed. But don't let anybody, don't get embarrassed or be like, oh yeah, that is wrong. No, your child, if he's autistic, he has special needs, and everybody should understand that, whoever is around him. No one should be being frustrated or showing that to them. It is not their job to come in there and scold your kid. They're there to teach your kid, not potty shame them, not put them down. It was so crazy. So anyways, if that's happening to you, go to the school district, you ask for an Explorer referral, and then you find a school that can meet his needs. And make sure that you stand firm and you tell them no. No one's going to be bullying my kid, especially not the damn teacher. So that was one of my bad experiences with schools, okay? And I can't stress this enough. Don't let anybody say anything inappropriate. I don't care if they, I didn't know the right term, I didn't know any better, I didn't mean it that way. Like, we're all adults here. I'm autistic myself, and I grew up with people around me that thought because I couldn't speak that they can just do whatever they want, say whatever they want, like I wasn't there. And as a young child, it did affect my self-esteem. It did affect the way, my desire to participate. I didn't want to participate. I didn't want to talk to anybody. Everybody seemed mean to me. And don't let them do that to your child. Who cares what thinks? Because your child they'll get there when they get there. I did. And they speak. I started speaking at 7. From 10 again. Other issues at home too, besides my trauma. But no, you never know what a child's at home. School is like, I was a child, I got lucky too. I got blessed, and I happened to be at a school where the teacher, but my home was kind of rocky, and they would let me stay in at recess, help with the papers. They would let me stay after class. They would bring me all the stuff and help me do the forms to go into after-school programs because I didn't want to go home. So I got blessed. So if there's any teachers out there watching this video, you never know, what a child's going through. So I know personally that if it was the school that I was attending and the teacher that I was growing up, I probably wouldn't this expressing myself. My teacher was very kind to me. That was the place. That was the first in my life. My first experiences with having confidence at that school. First time I wasn't stupid was the first he was kind and genuinely liked me around. I was at school. Maybe that was, but in my mind that's how it felt because of my home being so, having so many problems. My school was my foundation. It was it gave me a foundation when I didn't I didn't have anywhere to practice my skills. It wasn't safe for me to practice, or coming out of my shell. It didn't feel safe at home. So school was the first place that I was able to do that. Later I went to a university, and that I was pretty smart, and and I was high school because I had to take care of my son Ozzy. But I was studying behavioral epigenetics. I was really, I had my teacher, no family help. Later on, I ended up going to homeschool, but the teachers that taught me in the class have been able to teach myself, So, to the parents out there, make sure that the school can meet their needs, and to the teachers out there, if you have issues with stress management classes, why not educate yourself some more, and to the good teachers, thank you so much for what you did for me and what you do for my son. It takes they pay that much, they don't. So it really takes a good person to go in there and do what they do. So thank you. Teachers that are great. If you're a teacher that sucks, you are. And find another job. Before you come across me, then all right. I'll let you guys go with those tips for floor referral. All right, bye.